What's going on, people? It's Mr. Dog back again with the previous show. I hope everyone's fit and well. And this previous show, Crystal Palace against Nottingham Forest. We're back in London. And yeah, it's a late show, but it's got to be done. I will have Dave and Dee on the show any minute now. They're both running late, but they will be on. If you want to do score predictions, people get in the comment section now. If you are going to the game as well, please do a little shout out. And as well, people, I've done a little poll as well. What is your score prediction for tomorrow's game? Tough game for us. Like I said, I'm excited to be fair. I'm excited for me. Like I know we went there last season and it was a pointless game, but it was one of the best away atmospheres that we have been away, and hopefully we can do exactly the same tomorrow. So I'm excited for that. But I said, Palace are on good form. Like I said, they beat Manchester United 1-0 at Old Trafford. We all know that one of the star players, Eze, is out for 6 weeks, but they're still going to be a threat. We can't take it, can't disrespect Palace because they've still got some good players in their side. Right, so people in the chat, who do you think? What do you think the score is for tomorrow's game? Kev says, even a door, 3-1 to Forest. I hope you will, Kev. David says, too late for you, sorry. Have a good one, Dawn Crew. Come on, you guys. I know it's a bit late, but only D was at work, so that's why I had to do a late show with him. But like I said, he'll be here any minute now, and same with Dave as well. But people, like I said, what is your prediction for tomorrow's game? It's 5:30 kickoff as well. And listen, I'm excited. I've been to Palace 3 times now, and I've not lost. And that's not also a stat. Forest have not lost to Crystal Palace in the Premier League. So that's a good stat that we can go on as well. Dor, Prime, Kevin Wilson, or Prime Morgan. Oh, that's a good one, Matt. That's a good one. I'll say, where's Morgan? What do you think, Matt? People in the chat, what do you think? Prime, Kevin Wilson, or Prime Morgan? I'm going to say Morgan for me. Whereas Morgan was a legend. But Kevin Wilson was still a great player at his time. Them two, the partnership of them two under Billy Davis. What a partnership as well. And Colin Corded as well. A major partnership with them two. Well, so people, like I said, big game for us tomorrow. Like I said, I'm excited after a 1-1 draw as well. I'm really confident. But like I said, it's still going to be a tough game. I'm so excited for the game. Like, wow, am I a fan of people in the chat? Are you fans of 5:30 kickoffs? I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of it, to be fair. But we're Premier League, and that's what going to happen. These ones happens. Mark, yes, I'll see you tomorrow as well, Mark. Make sure you give a catch up. You can get on the vlog tomorrow as well. People, is anyone else going tomorrow as well? But yeah, I'm excited as well. I've got D coming on soon. He's just coming from work. I did a preview show on his channel as well. If you want to watch it after this stream, the link is in the description. Make sure you go and watch it. He's a top guy. People in the chat will remember D. He was on the channel last season and the last game of the season. So he's a top guy as well. Shout out to Eve as well. How you doing, Eve? Good store, hope you well. We'll be doing calling shows soon. I'm just doing some drawing. Hopefully, Eve, we'll be doing some call-ins as well. I know Dad's been really busy with work and that. So hopefully we can do that as well. So yeah, I hope you're well, Eve. And yeah, I will catch up soon, Eve. I've just been very busy. But we've got the man legend. Please show some love to the man himself, Dave. And got some good news, man. I said Dave will as well come here. But people show some love to Dave, people. The man himself.
How are you, Ben?
I'm not too bad. How are you, Dave?
Bit tired, mate, to be honest.
Are you been asleep? I know the late show, Dave.
No, it's not that, mate. I played an hour's 6-a-side earlier tonight, and it was a really good game. But when you get to my advanced years, mate, it takes it out of you a bit.
Dave, you're only 21 days. You're only 21. You're only 21.
Well, bless you, mate. I scored a couple though. Hit the post as well, so I was quite sharp, really. was kind of hoping Stevie Cooper would have a look. He'd ask me to take my boots tomorrow, but there you go, mate. No, I'm good. It's good to talk to you, mate.
Dave, I want to do something special because he put on his Facebook about 61 years his mum and dad have been together. People in the chat, put some claps for that. 61 years. That's amazing.
Bless him. Yeah, I mean, without going into the details too much, the old boy was not very well about a month or so ago, but he came through that. Mum's had a few bumps and falls and what have you, but she's still here. She's 86, he's 85, and they've been together 61 years today. So and they celebrated.
How did you celebrate, Dave? Tell everyone, how did they celebrate?
With a bacon sandwich each. There's a lovely little where I live. There's near where those two live. There's a lovely little sandwich shop that these fantastic girls run. Mum had a bacon and egg mayonnaise, and Dad had a bacon and cheese on toast. So they're all good. He's having his jabs tomorrow while I'm at Palace. So they're good. And like you say, mate, they keep going. They're kind of unstoppable and indestructible. And I'm really proud of them. And truth is, mate, without them, I wouldn't even be here. I wouldn't be talking to you, Ben. You know what I mean? So I've got a lot to thank them for, really.
People in the chat, you've got to give them a clap for that. And you've got some special great messages as well. This is from Kevin. Good evening, Dave. Good evening, Dave. Hope you're well. And this is another legend, pair of legends, Alan. Fulham fan up the Forest for 36 games, apart from the 2 against Fulham.
Good old Alan.
To Alan, top guy. Justin, congratulations to Dave's mum and dad. Big Mark, good evening, Mr. Asprey, and all Fulham fans. How you doing, Big Mark? As well, Alan said congratulations to Mr. Asprey.
Thanks, Alan.
As well. Another one, best away ground, Huddersfield Pies. What's your best ground, Dave, on away day?
That's a good one. I think I've probably got to go for the fish and chips at Tottenham were really good, and I have to give a big shout out to the chips and curry sauce at Villa last year, which was absolutely lovely, really. The Balti pie at Manchester City a couple of weeks ago, chicken Balti pie, that was all right as well.
Yeah, that's all right. I think my best one has got to be Preston away. Preston away is the best for me.
Yeah.
Always them clubs. I think from like Lancaster teams, like Preston, Wigan, them teams. Yeah. Dave, before D comes on, like I said, D's coming on in a minute now. He's running late through work. Dave, we've got a big game tomorrow. We all know Eddie's not playing, but it's still going to be a tough team to play, aren't they?
Oh yeah. Palace are really well organised, Ben. Roy Hodgson, since he's come in, they've been really solid. He's transformed them, to be honest. He's done a fantastic job. And I'm a bit wary of saying because Michael Elise is not playing or Eperegi Eze's not playing or that Wilf has now gone that, that it's going to be easy. It's not going to be easy at all. It's going to be very tricky. Often when a team loses its supposedly key players, other guys step up to the plate, the next man up thing. We had it with our squad, this idea of next man up, and it served as well. So Steve Cooper won't be underestimating Palace at all. Not at Selhurst Park for sure, So our record against them is pretty good in recent times.
We've not lost to it. I saw a stat today. We've not lost to it in the Premier League.
That's right. We took 4 points off them last year. As we did, we took 4 points off Brighton. So, our recent record is good, but counts for nothing. You start the game on an equal footing and then hope to be better at the end of the 90 minutes or 103 minutes as it was last weekend, So now it's going to be a very, very difficult game. But I think Forest have got a chance in it. So.
Quick question, Dave. Like I said, we won Chelsea away at their place. We've lost the 3 big clubs, as you can class it. People in the chat as well, get involved with this. What should Steve Cooper do? Should he stick to a back 5 because it's defensive, or should we go for it? Because I can see everyone's seeing because at least he's not playing blah blah blah. But they beat Man United last week. I don't care if Man But what would you do? People in the chat, what would you do? Would you play the 4-3-3 or stick defensive?
No, I think, to be honest with you, Ben, I don't think he'll go 5 at the back. I wouldn't go 5 at the back tomorrow. I mean, with all due respect to Palace's strength, it seems to me, is at the back. Gurhey and Anderson 100%. Are really, really good. Tyreek Mitchell's an excellent left back. Sam Johnson's a good goalkeeper. But without Eze there and without Michael Elise there, there's, again, this is no disrespect. I mean, it's likely to be Schlupp, Jordan Ayew, maybe Odson Edward. They're not going to be the same kind of threat to us that those guys were, you know. So I think I'd like us to go 4 at the back, 3 in midfield, and then go with sort of a 3 forward line. I mean, the thing is, Forest are now wanting, Steve Cooper is wanting to get away from this idea of going and playing the low block, at places. Now, the low block, whether we liked it or not, and some didn't like it, and that's their prerogative, it kept us up because we became hard to beat. But I think what we want, what Steve Cooper wants now, and what I think we as fans would like, is to see an evolutionary step from just being hard to beat to actually taking the game to an opposition. Now, Arsenal, United, Chelsea, City, maybe that would have been a step too far to do it. Now, again, it's no disrespect to Palace, but tomorrow I think he might go for it. I mean, in the home games, I think he's certainly against Burnley and Brentford. His idea was to come on, play 4 at the back, have people further forward, and actually go for it. And for the first section of those games, like the first half an hour of Burnley, and then for a lot of the first half against Brentford, without really threatening that much, Forest dominated possession. And that is Forest desperately trying to make that next step. But, you know, these things take time. I don't think Forest, you know, it's going to be a while since you see Forest dominate possession against a team in the Premier League for 90 minutes. That's what we would like. That's what I think our coach would like. But it's going to take time. But I'd 4 at the back tomorrow, Ben. And I'd like us to go there and just sort of really stamp our authority on the game. And I think it's going to be a very, very tight game. Then.
Quick question out loud. What people do be ahead it now. He just messaged me, he'll be here soon. I speak to D on his channel, and we said for both clubs, if Forest win tomorrow, is that a statement to say we're good enough to be in the top 10, or is it too early to say? People in the chat, get involved with the question I'm saying.
I think it's too early to say. I mean, you know, Palace have been in this league for
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Palace have shown a blueprint for what we'd like to do, as have, you know, Brighton and Brentford. They've gone through some tough seasons and they've managed to kind of get themselves established. You know, so Palace, the standing joke about Palace is that they always finish 11th and nobody notices them. And it would be great for Forest to be in that same bracket at the table with Palace, where people just assume Forest are a mid-table side. They're not in any danger of relegation, but they're not maybe quite good enough to challenge at the top. I personally still think that we've a way to go yet to get to that. I mean, you know, ideally by the end of this season, it would be, I mean, we're 12th at the moment. If we were 12th at the end of the season, I'd be really, really pleased, because that is an indicator that Forest have progressed and improved to a certain extent. But, you know, I mean, I said last night on 12th man, give me 17th now, because then that means we're a Premier League club for another season. I just want to be a Premier Forest to be a, you know, my beloved, lovely Forest to be a Premier League side for as many seasons as possible going forward. Now, the Palace people have done that in the past. They've done, I think, 10 years now as a Premier League club, which for a club of that size, it's a fantastic achievement. So, yeah, I mean, I heard Callum Hudson-Odoi talking really well this week.
On Sky Sports, weren't it? Yeah, seen it.
Yeah. It was a really good interview with Callum, and he came across really well. And he was saying the lads in the dressing room were thinking, you know, let's try and get in the top 10. Now, that's a fantastic target for the lads to set themselves. And I think there'll be a lot of belief in that dressing room that they can do it. Do I think they can do it? They've still to convince me. So we'll see. But it's great that they're, if you don't project ahead, then who knows?
I'm just looking through the chat. This is from Spash. Playing away from home, we'll get a bit more space. So I'm going for a 2-1 win. Put in the comments, what do you think your score predictions? I will ask Dave because I want to do this for late because me and Dave are going to Palace. It's not till 5:30. So Dave, I hope you're not staying up to watch some film, Dave. I know what you're like.
I was watching. Been watching The Wheel of Time on Prime Video because I kind of like me. I like me fantasy type stuff, yeah. And then other picks, Mayans MC about a motorcycle club, quite brutal and violent. All creatures great and small.
People in the chat, I've not got a clue what it is. So if you've watched it, people put the thumbs up. I haven't got a clue.
I'm just a telly addict, Ben. You know that.
Right, we're good. I'm going to go for the chat again. This is from Matt. Back four. Got his players now. Early until the Jews.
Yeah, agree with that, Matt.
As well. Alan said, I was at Selhurst Park 3 weeks ago watching Fulham and just didn't attack them enough. We have a squad to play ball out wide.
Yeah.
And will cause them huge problems.
Yeah, that's what we'd like to do, Alan.
Yeah.
I mean, Alan's absolutely right. And I think, Steve has watched Palace recently. I know when they played them in the Carabao Cup, he went and watched them. Although he probably wouldn't have got much of an idea about Palace because the Palace that lost in the Carabao Cup was completely different to the Palace that won in the league. So, but he would probably have watched games that, like Fulham. Fulham, I think Fulham are that a little bit further, have been that little bit further on the nose. And maybe, if Fulham weren't, what's the word, sort of front foot enough, then, maybe
DJ now, Dave. DJ now. To people in the chat, please show some love today. Top Crystal Palace fan. Make sure everyone goes subscribe to Back of the Nest as well. Please show some love to him. Hello, bro.
No, so sorry. So sorry.
It's all right, mate. It's all right.
Don't worry about it, my friend.
I stay up till 4 o'clock in the morning, mate. You're all right, Lee.
And I'll be honest. As I was literally leaving work, I thought, let me quickly look at my phone, and then I get an even worse notification that we have 2 more injuries ahead of the game. I just don't know. Well, check Decore is now is the latest injury. He's a doubt for tomorrow. And apparently, Joe Ward also a doubt as well because this is genuinely unbelievable. Look, I'll be honest.
Talk with me, man. What's going on? Let's put it straight, right. After a fantastic win against Manchester United, I don't want to say, me, Dave, all Forest fans are going to think, we're going to go to Palace and actually destroy you. We're not going to think that because you're a good side. What the hell is happening with players? You're losing players left, right, and centre.
I don't know if they're doing WrestleMania or something in training. I don't know what's exactly going on. I don't know what it is. Maybe Roy gave them like a award, like we don't have to train this week. We've done well against Man United. I honestly don't know. I mean, from the start of the season, we've had this injury crisis, and you'd think at a certain point that it will finally be over and we'll slowly get players back. But it seems like we're still going through the thick of it. There's more players getting injured rather than players coming back. And I'll be honest, if I'm a Forest fan, I know I spoke to Dave, I spoke to you, Dor, as well on our channel. If I'm a Forest fan, I'm looking at this game thinking we should be trying to win this. If I was a Forest fan, because we just have so many injuries, and I just think on your day and the way that you're playing with the players that you've got, you should be going for this. This is the perfect opportunity. The good thing is, I was saying our defense has been okay so far, but even Joe Ward, who I don't rate massively, I don't know how many Premier League sides he gets into, but he's a better option than Nathaniel Klein. Even he's out injured. Now we're talking about our defense, our strongest point. Even there's weaknesses there. Yes. So if I'm a Forest fan, I'm looking at this news that came out today at 10 o'clock or 10:30, and I'm thinking this should be it. We should be trying to go for it. We should. I think you should. I'll be amazed. Right now, I predicted a draw going into the game with Dor because of Eze's injury. But after this, like a draw would be absolutely fantastic. It's not even... Honestly, it'd be fantastic. And I never thought I'd say this because of the injuries.
Dave, how are you feeling about that? But like, what Dave just said, does that give you a little bit of confidence?
I mean, as you say, you know, we talked last night, me and D, and we both agreed that. So a straight question was put to me, what's your prediction for tomorrow? And I said straight away 1-1. At which point, my learned friend down here said, oh, Dave's nicked my prediction because that was what he was going to go for. And I think at the time, I mean, the thing is, though, before all the Forest family start getting excited and start saying, well, you know, Palace have lost this player and Palace have lost that player and whatever you know, Roy is a damn good manager. Gurhey and Anderson are still in situ.
I've always said that.
Tyreek Mitchell is still in situ. Sam Johnson is a fine goalkeeper. And often, you know, lads that are getting a chance, say if Joel can't play tomorrow or you know, they've lost Chet Decore and obviously Eze isn't about and Michael's not about. Let's not get carried away. Steve Cooper.
Well, Dave, do you know how bad it is, though? Like, just sorry to cut you off, Dave, but I'm right. So our reporter for the Athletic, Matt Woosnam, who covers Crystal Palace, has said the following. He said that Palace's injury crisis is so severe that Roy Hodgson had to write down the names on a piece of paper to ensure he didn't forget anyone. Like, it's that bad. Like, like the fact that you got a manager writing down all the players that's out injured because it's that long is incredible. I mean, our side tomorrow could be, you can make the argument that some championship sides are stronger than the side that we're going to put tomorrow. I know the game.
I disagree.
Overall, as a team. As a team, our defense, for example, is still, I think, as you said, Gay and Anderson, fantastic Mitchell, fantastic Sam Johnston. But when you take out Chet Decore from that, and you already took out Jefferson Lerma, Will Hughes will start. But if Chet Decore is a doubt and he doesn't play tomorrow, it's a doubt. We don't know yet, but he's a doubt, so he's picked up an injury. Who plays next to Chet Decore? I mean, Will Hughes and Jairo Riedewald, who's been solid coming off the bench, a few appearances. But then what happens as number 10? Because maybe Edward comes back. But then again, look, we are weak from the midfield to the striking option. Weaker, anyways, than where we were. And the fact that our manager has to be writing down names, that says all. I think that sounds us.
Maybe he's knocking on a bit though, D, and he's maybe like a bit like me, D, a bit like yours truly, mate. You know how old I am. When we did 12 man last night, mate, we were talking about Palace and Forest. I was making notes of what was going on. So me and Roy are in the same boat. But mate, the way I look at it is Steve Cooper will just see 11 Nottingham Forest guys and he'll see 11 Crystal Palace guys. And those, you know, I've coached teams in the past where I've had 4 or 5 out. And often a team that's deemed to be depleted will just say, hey, what the hell? Let's just go for it. And I think in some respects, D, I think those Palace lads, you know, Riedewald and people like that who are going to get a chance if they are going to start, they're going to really go for it. So I think, Palace's attitude, I don't think the attitude of the two teams will be called into question. Roy will set Palace up and they'll be difficult to beat, and Steve will set us up. I do think they're two really honest teams. I think, you know, Roy's set up an attitude at Palace which makes them really honest, and I'd like to think we've got that as well. I mean, the thing is, for me, see, I love football and I want to see good players. So the fact that Elise's not playing, as I said to you last night, Eze's not playing, these are great footballers. You know, Chet Decore is going to be great, but I'm sure Raksaki might get a game.
But he's struggling with Man United physically. So that's what I'm saying. It's like we're relying on younger players who we don't know if they're ready to start yet. And it goes down to that. And I think you made an interesting point. I think Steve Cooper will go for it more than Roy Hodgson would, because of how I know from Roy in 5 years he's managed Palace, is when there's an opportunity, when it's too risky, he does not like to take the risks. So I think Roy will have the approach of, if you get a point tomorrow with all these players out, it'll be decent. In terms of injuries, it's now in double figures. In terms of how many players are out injured. Basically, a whole starting 11, near enough. Yeah. And, you know, some of the players out there. So, you know, we've got Dean Henderson out in defense. We haven't got anyone really out. James Tompkins, he should be back. But at right back, we only have one right back. If Nathaniel Klein is out injured, then we don't have another right back. Nathan Ferguson, Joe Ward, they're out. Chet Decore, out. Jefferson Lerma, out tomorrow. Matthias France out. Eze out. Ahamada out. Elise out. Edward out. Like, we have so many, like as I said, so many players are doubts and outs that we're on one right back, one left back. One of them gets out injured. We seriously don't have a right back or left back. It might be from the academy, but we don't. That's how it is right now.
I've got a super chat, and this is a question for D. Thank you for the £4.99 special. Always shows love to the channel. D, do you think injuries could be down to cup games and league games being so close together? Thank you for the £4.99. Peace and love for that. D, do you agree with that?
No, not necessarily. Because I mean, we haven't played that many cup games. This season. There's only 2, and the most recent one was against United. But even before the United game, Odsonne Edouard didn't feature because he was out injured, so it was not the cup game. Elise was out before that. Maybe you can make the argument for Eze, and that's pretty much it. Eze maybe, or Dean Henderson and Eze, because Joel Ward's he didn't feature in the cup game. Nate Ferguson was already out. Lerma was out as well. So there's only like 1 or 2 players that you can make the argument for it. So I don't think it's a cup game. But then again, I genuinely don't know what it is, because we had this conversation on our channel. What could it be? Are we overusing players? Are we, trainings, might be, are we pushing them too much in training? But then again, when Roy Hodgson did first join, we heard the news that his approach compared to Patrick Vieira's approach is way more relaxed. It wasn't the training methods and the time off was much better on paper. So when you add that and this together, it just doesn't make sense. But then again, you can't also blame it on bad luck. Maybe if I was at the training ground every single day and I saw the players and I saw the data, I can give you a proper answer. But right now, it just doesn't make sense, because we know that Roy, it doesn't push the players. Every single day you have to come train. Every single day you have to do this and that. It's more relaxed in terms of Patrick Vieira's terms. When you compare them both together. So I don't know. I genuinely don't know, but I don't think it's a cup as well. Because
I think I think with Roy as well, what comes through to me, looking from afar at Palace, is actually how happy the Palace lads seem with Roy and how much they want to play for him. So I think, mate, when I listen to your injury list, it takes me back to last year with Forest.
Yeah,
we and the thing is, mate, when you look for reasons why people are getting injured, and then you kind of, some of ours last year were sort of saying, oh, it's for this reason, for that reason. When lads play football and they try hard and it's a physical game, they're going to pick up knocks. And I think Palace are just having really bad luck, like we had really bad luck. I don't see any, people saying, oh, we had it last year where people were saying our medical department and our physiotherapist team need to take a look at themselves, and they're kind of like, well, they're not the ones. What do they want? What you want to follow a player around the field, protecting him from a tackle or a header or whatever. These things happen, and it's just, I think for Palace, it's just.
Always that training though, Dave. That's what makes them a bit more interesting. If we saw them in games and we saw the challenges, then we'll be like, all right, cool. That's just bad luck, and it's getting pathetic. These players are getting fouled left, right, centre. More protection from refs. But our one, it doesn't seem like it's challenges, as we haven't played a game since the United one, and I think 3 more players have got injured. So it's a case of what's going on between the United game and this game for our players to go out injured. That's why it's even more difficult for us as Palace fans to explain it, because we're just guessing. It's guesswork here. Are they working hard in training? Are they not? Is it something else? Are they fatigued? If some buts, I'm not too sure. If it was in games, I would understand, but this just doesn't make any sense. And maybe something needs to be looked at the training ground. Maybe they just need a longer break, because the physios, the manager, everyone needs to come together, because right now we're on a breaking point. We really are. We're talking about one player available in certain positions, that if a player goes out injured, we literally don't have another fullback, and we don't have a number 10. We simply don't have a number 10. We reached a breaking point for number 10. Eze and Hamada both out injured. We only have 2 number 6s, and they both should be starting if Cheikh Doucouré is out. So as I'm saying, we're basically near enough there. We can't have 1 or 2 more injuries, otherwise we're simply not going to have enough players. It might have to be me out on the pitch with Roy. At this rate.
Right, I'm going to come and mark you, D, but you'll get away from me, mate, because you're a lot younger. And
I'll take that challenge.
The thing is, though, D, it seems to me, mate, and that's a good point, actually, is Roy bluffing Steve Cooper style.
I'll say this actually. I'm about to ask this. Do you think he's bluffing us?
No, he's not bluffing. He's not bluffing.
Because Cooper does it all the time.
Dave,
No,
Dave,
Roy's not bluffing. Like he's genuinely not bluffing. I don't think he's got the time for that. He's reached that point in his career. He hasn't got the time for the bluffs. Like
he's writing it all on his piece of paper.
He's writing down on his paper. Like I don't think he's bluffing. And we've known it. Like some of these players I've mentioned, they've been out injured for quite a while, or they didn't feature in a Man United game. These new injuries that's popping up, it's 100% not a bluff. Change the Corey might play. It's a doubt. He didn't. I don't think he's confirmed that he's out 100%. But I think Joel Ward is, and that's a groin injury. So. Yeah, like he's not that type of manager to bluff injuries. So yeah, we haven't learned. He hasn't learned that from Steve Cooper. Let's just say that. Or Steve
Palace seems to me, D, that Palace really could do with this international break. Get tomorrow out of the way.
That's the best thing. You know what I mean? And Dave, I'll be honest. I was looking at this international break, thinking, well, at least if France are going to be back, and maybe Lerman might be back, and then we have a full strength squad. But going into the international break, it's changed. We've lost Eze. We've potentially lost Cheikh Doucouré and Joe Ward. So it's about, geez, we need this now. Rather than players coming back and us pushing on, we need this international break to just sit down and see what's the timelines for each player, because we've literally reached that point of what on earth is going on at Palace. Like, how many players do we have available? Our manager's writing it down. He's got his pen, he's got his notepad, and he's writing it down after each training session. How many players are there? They're falling down like dominoes. So we desperately need this international break, and hopefully, if we get a result tomorrow, any kind of result, even like a draw, I think that would be fantastic at this point, as I mentioned.
Yeah.
But if we get a win, that'll be something else.
You'll have to take your boots and your pads.
Yeah, I was thinking about that as well. Is it evening kickoff? I've got time to practice in the afternoon and then bring my boots just in case. I wouldn't mind playing the number 6 with Roy. That'd be interesting. Let's just say
we'll talk about Forest. Like I said, we've got a full squad. I don't want to be. I know you got no players. We've got a full squad. What players are you worried for tomorrow? Because we've got so many. Well, like I said on your show, people make sure everyone subscribe to Back in the Nest. Cam Hudson-Odoi, you lot wanted him, but he come to Forest. Is he the player that you're worried about tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm even more worried now when Joe Wood is out. And I never thought I'd say that, because Joe Wood, I love him to bits, but I just feel like we've needed to improve that right back position ASAP, and we just haven't done it. We haven't done it. And the second option now is Nathaniel Klein, who faced Man United in the cup game, and 2 of the 3 goals that were conceded, he was at fault for them. Like, he was there at fault. And now you're putting Nathaniel Klein against Hudson-Odoi. Jeez, let me not even think about it, because it's a Friday night. You just want to relax. But it's a bit scary. When the thought comes into my head, it does get a bit scary thinking about Nathaniel Klein versus Joe. Maybe Nathaniel Klein might be up for it, because he had that game against Man United and he had that game out of his locker. Now he's ready for it. But I'm just like literally doing ifs and buts. So Nathaniel Klein just didn't look good, and I'm worried about him. Elanga versus Mitchell, that was going to be a battle, and still will be one. We'll see how they do. And Sangare, those are the 3 players. Of course, you got Awoniyi, but then again with Gay and Anderson there, I think that battle will be a good one to watch. But I'm not as worried. You've got a strong enough defense, so we'll see if our defense can handle him. Whereas now in midfield, for example, Sangare, who's physical, whose technical ability is class as well. I watched him play. Him. Both the wingers, that's the 3 that I'm mainly concerned about, because I think those are the areas now you can hit us, especially down our right-hand side with Hudson-Odoi.
And Sangare, to talk about Sangare, actually, he made a bit of a sort of quiet start, but I think against Brentford last Sunday, he had his best game. He'd been a sort of a 5 and a 6 in the previous game, so I think he was more of a 7, maybe 8 last week. So I think he's just beginning to get acclimatized. I mean, and like the thing is, Palace are missing few, but we're in a way we're on the other way. We're bringing new people in, like Murillo played his first game last week. So I mean, the thing is, it's a match between 2 teams who've got issues of different types.
Yeah.
But they've got issues. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but Dave, have Forest got issues?
I think they have it like finding the right blend, D.
That's it. The right blend. We've got 25 players
the thing is,
that can't get in that team.
Because you already had a squad. We don't have a squad as it is. That's our problem.
No.
And that's where our weaknesses are getting exposed now. You have a decent squad where if a player goes out injured, then someone else can slot back in. But with us, we've had that concern even going into the season. In terms of our transfer business, there was a lot of people upset because we saw some of the areas that we've known that we've needed to improve on for months, even last season, and we had a whole summer and we still didn't do it. That's why I think Palace's starting 11 very good, but as a squad, you can see the weaknesses. But yeah, sorry to cut you off, David.
No, what I was going to say, mate, we to stay up last year and to get ourselves to where we are now, especially through our first 4 away games. It was this 5 at the back and the low block and not really pushing the team back. But I think Forest now want to sort of make that next, like I said to you, evolutionary step and be a front foot team and say, right, we're Nottingham Forest. We're going to take the game to you. We've not done that yet. And I think Forest have tried it, especially in the home games. I was just saying to Ben, against Burnley and Brentford. But that has kind of been really good for, say, half an hour or 40 minutes of the first half and then petered out a bit. So with Forest, they're sort of still trying to find the right... I think with Palace, it's an injury thing. With Forest, I think it's a formational thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you've got a few new players as well this summer. And they're blending. Some of them are blending in nicely. But, of course, 7 games is still too early. Of course, they need a bit more chemistry times. And in this game, it's going to be another opportunity for them to show what they could do together as a team. So, yeah, look, both teams, I agree, have got their own, issues. But, yeah, I don't know about exciting game tomorrow, I'll be honest. Maybe for you guys, I'm honestly fearing the game now. I am fearing the game.
Wow, he's fearing the game. He's fearing it.
Yeah. Saying that if Palace win 1-0, that would be incredible. Genuinely, I'll take that any day of the week. But right now, a point. I never thought I'd say this because I try to look at, all right, cool. We've got, Eze's out, but we've got him available. Or Elise's out. But right now, I genuinely don't know who's available. Like, I don't. And for that reason, I think a point would be like free for Palace at home, which on paper, and I mean this with all respect to Forest, on paper, because of what we want to achieve, I think I said it to Dor as well, for what Forest want to do this season, Forest should be looking at this game thinking we should be trying to beat Palace. Like, that'll be a good result, very good result. And Palace should be doing the same as well, because I don't think we're that far off each other. So a draw at home, when we're playing at home, a draw wouldn't be an ideal result if everyone's fit. But then again, when you add the context into it, I don't think it'll be the worst one. We really needed to try and win this game. But then again, with the players that we've got available, I don't know how we can do it, especially in the time we're getting thinner by the day.
A draw for you, D. And I think I'm right. I mean, you've got 11 points. We've got 8. So, we're aspiring to be in that middle.
Yeah, that's what I said.
That you've been in now for so long and done a brilliant job in getting. I've always said I've said to you on shows before, D, where people tend not to notice Palace, but that's to Palace's credit. They're nicely established in there. So if it's a point apiece tomorrow, we go to 9, you go to 12, and that keeps you in the top half. Which
it should actually going into the international break. That would be good. It'll be good.
Yeah.
Just the one thing that we can't do tomorrow, I know we've got a lot of injuries, is lose the game. As a Palace fan, of course, I'm thinking we can't be. We have to try and get something out of the game. Anderson, Gay are still there. Mitchell's there. As you said, Sam Johnson.
You've got a strong defense, D. You still got a strong defense.
Hughes has been solid for us as well.
Who?
We'll see. We'll read about
Who?
Yeah.
He's a real kid. You're
saying who? He's the one that scored against you last season, though. I think
say that.
If he scored,
there's a blonde bomber.
If Palace been 1-0 and he scores, I'm gonna go mad. Mad.
That'll be a dream come true.
I didn't like his interview after the game, what he said, but. Listen, you're not to do it. Right, people, we're going to get going in a minute. I'm going to get D and Dave's score predictions as well. People in the chat. There's 34 people in. Get your score predictions now. Let me ask you, Dave. I've changed. People after this, make sure you watch D's channel straight after the channel, because we had an interview as well. Came out today. My mind's changing.
Additional injuries, as a disclaimer. Before the 3-4 other injuries as well, We've got in the space of 2 days, we've got 3 other injuries,
Let's put it in context, people. Dave, what's your score prediction? Has it changed?
No, I'm still saying 1-1. I still think
Is that a good thing, Dave? Though, is that a good thing, though?
Well, I mean, at the moment, let's look at it in the wider context. We've won 2 away games since we came back to the Premier League.
Yeah.
So our away form is still a major issue. I mean, okay, our away performances to this point against these 4 big guns have been really encouraging. There have been, even though we've not won all of them, there have been good things to take from every game. I said last night, Dee might have heard me say, that with Forest, we've played 7 games and there hasn't been a game yet where Forest have stunk the place out completely. Every game, there's been a bit of Forest need to be better and there's been a bit of Forest actually playing some good stuff. So at the moment, I'm not changing my view. I mean, I could say, Dee's just said Joel Ward's out and now Cheikh Doucouré's out and all that. I'm changing my view and it's 3-1. No, I'm not having that because I still think that Roy has got a really solid platform in Anderson and Gurhey. And hey, let's not forget, Anderson scored a worldie last week at Old Trafford.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And Palace, what I loved about Palace last week was they had the Carabao Cup game. And we said on our show between those 2 games, and I said this today, you'll see a different Palace at Old Trafford on the Saturday to the one you saw on the Tuesday night. And Palace, to their great credit and to Roy's credit, said, we put that aside and we go and become a different, better Crystal Palace. And they defended brilliantly. And I think, they've still got a solid base. They've got a solid base at the back of their side in their defence to make it really difficult for Forest to score. So I'm not changing my view. I'm still thinking it'd be a 1-1 draw. I don't think, ordinarily, if Michael Olise and Eze were playing, you'd say, as a neutral, I would say I'm leaning towards a Palace win at Selhurst Park. But I still think our guy said it himself today, we're still in many respects a new team still coming together. And whatever injuries Palace have got, they're less of a new project than we are. So I'm still taking it. I still think it'd be a 1-1 draw. And Dee's right. I don't think it'll be a humdinger, on the telly at R5. But you never know.
You never know. These players, we don't know what to expect from, because we've seen these players individually, especially for Palace, play for the team, but we haven't seen them collectively play. I haven't seen Riedewald and Will Hughes have a pivot in a pivot too, for example. But I've seen Jared Riedewald play, I've seen Will Hughes play, but not together. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly how they perform. But I agree. I think it will. Well, I'm hoping it'll still.
What's your team? What's your score? Is it 1-1?
I'm still gonna go for 1-0. Yeah. But when Dave was saying, I was thinking it's 1-0, and if I had to add like a PS, I think if I had to pick a side to win the game, I'll lean towards Forest and Palace. So I do think Forest are a bit more of favourites in this game. Funny enough, even though we're playing at home. But Dave makes a very good point. Our defense is still there, but most importantly, our shape will be there. These players know what Roy expects from them. And we saw that against Man United. Of course, individuals matter because you need to have quality there. The quality will be there in terms of the back 4, 3 potentially. I don't know about Nathaniel Klein. I think it's a bit ridiculous that we still is using him, in 2023, going into 2024. It's basically like using Windows 97. I mean, we had him. He's a graduate, but I guess he can still do the job, right? But it's not as advanced. That's how I can compare Nathaniel Klein. So hopefully the software works tomorrow and but that's where we're at right now. We have to update our system. With the players that we've got, some of them are quality, but it's not top notch here. It's a bit old school. But Roy's system and tactics is the only thing that's giving me hope that we won't concede a lot of goals, so it'll be a tight game.
Yeah, I agree.
After the interviews I heard, I said on Dee's channel, make sure I'm going to watch it after the stream. I said 1-1 because 2 more injuries have occurred. They still got a strong defense.
Don't go there.
Pulling into the mind games.
When he wags the finger, D. When he wags the finger.
I'm not saying the big squad, but it's not a big squad because I've always said Palace have got a strong defense.
Yeah.
Ward out, but they still got 2 great centre backs as well. Like Gihey, love Gihey. But I think it's going to be. I said to these channel, I said it would be 2-1 to either side, didn't I? I think it was 2-1 to either side. But I'm going to change it. I think.
Yeah. D, does James Tompkins come in and does he change it around a little bit to accommodate James Tompkins?
I was scared by you even mentioning his name. Hopefully not. I mean, if James Tompkins is coming in, then geez, Louise. I mean, we're going.
He's a good player, right?
97. I don't know what was before 97. I don't think there was even a
95, wasn't it? It's 95.
Unix.
Yeah, unit.
Basic,
yeah, that's what
Cobol.
we're going towards right now. Exactly.
Cobol and basic.
James Tompkins shouldn't come back because our other option that we have is Rob Holding and Chris Richards. So
Holding is he playing for Palace?
Yeah, he's sitting on our bench. Yeah, exactly. yeah. So
he's a good player, though, isn't he?
Yeah, Richards is fast, physical as well. Maybe if Roy was to go bold, which I don't think he will do, Richards could do a job at right back in terms of pace. He won't do the attacking role, but he's very good defensively. And he has featured in a few games this season. I think he featured against Aston Villa in the league game, which we nearly beat them. And I don't want to talk about the referee, Darren England. And then he also featured, and he also featured in the cup game against United. So in terms of defense, touch wood, nothing happens there because you never know. Tomorrow we'll wake up and Gay and Anderson's out injured from sleeping. Our defense options are very good. Gay and Anderson, if not Rob Holding, who's at Arsenal, he's a very good option to come off the bench, and Chris Richards. So we should be fine there. It shouldn't be Tompkins. If it's Tompkins, then I don't know how. Then literally, then it's very, very, very scary because that means Richards or Holding is not available on top of Gay and Anderson. That's about 5 centre halves that's out injured.
Before we do that, I've got a new member. Is it Cuts Z3? Thank you for being a member to the channel. I much appreciate for that. You got a fan here. D is top. Make sure everyone goes subscribe to D as well. Back of the nest is in the title. Claire, 2-1 to Forest. Claire, why are you still awake? You should be getting ready for our lift for tomorrow. Thank you, Claire.
Much love to Claire.
Claire's taking us to the Palace tomorrow
Legend.
as well.
Absolutely.
But yeah, you know what? I'll say 2-1 Forest. I'll change it. It's going to be tight. I think Palace is going to score because I just got a feeling he's going to score. I'm not going to mention that guy's name, but he will score. He will score past us.
Oh, well, who's?
He will score past us. I think he always does because it's that statement he said after the game.
It's Mateta that I think could be a handful for us.
Edward has been on form as well, by the way. So Edward,
he's a big threat.
Before his injury, he was out for I think 2 games or game. Yeah, I think 2 games. I think he missed both the United games. He had about 4 goals in like 5 games. I don't know what he's on now, but I think he was the second highest goal scorer in the league. So he had a very good start to the season. I'm not saying he's the second best striker, but he had a very good start to the season. On top of that, Mateta and him has had a fantastic connection when Mateta's been coming off the bench, but they've never really started together. But tomorrow, if Edward is fit, then I expect Edward to start because we literally have no other attackers. And Edward and Mateta, whenever they've been on the pitch, they have looked dangerous, but we don't know if that's going to be the case when they're starting together. Because coming off the bench, Mateta coming off the bench has been fantastic. Like we've leveled up our attack every single time Mateta's coming off the bench to help Edward. But for the first time this season, they might be starting together, which will be interesting to see if they can do it for 9 minutes because they've been very good. They've been very good.
Right, people, to get going. Me, Dave, we need to have a little snooze because, like I said, we're getting picked up tomorrow by Claire. But Dave, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for taking your time.
Thanks for having me on. Sorry about the delay. I nearly got injured on my way.
It was as always. It was worth the wait, mate. Great.
Worth the wait, Dave. Make sure everyone goes subscribe to Back of the Nest. And if you want to see the preview that me and D did on this channel,
man's a legend.
The link is in the description. Please go and watch it straight after this channel as well. People as well, that me and Dave, we're there tomorrow. If you want to get on the vlog, please do. Do a review before the game.
Hopefully. If I don't get injured.
Don't get injured. Don't do nothing.
It's contagious. I think it's contagious. I don't know what's going on, but I don't know what's going on.
Don't get injured. Don't get injured because, right, Roy said he might need you on the pitch to play up front.
Yeah, exactly. I'll bring my boots. I'll bring my boots. We'll have a kickabout before the game.
Right, people, like I said, thank you everyone for taking part for this late show. Much appreciated. Like I said, me and Dave are there tomorrow. If you're new to the channel, please do hit the like button. subscribe if you're new, and if you are rewatching this, in the description below, make sure you get your score predictions in. Thank you everyone for watching this. Peace and love, and hopefully Forest get a big win at the capital. Thank you for watching. Up the Forest.